Welcome to the Real Estate PB&J Hour on Money Talk 1310 and 100.9 FM. Rose and Womble Realtor Paul Fuquay is here to share market facts, the fundamentals of selling, buying, owning, and improving your home, plus interesting experts. Now, here is Paul.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying 65 degrees of balm and sunshine and blue skies. It's far better than what we've seen the past few Thursdays.
Yeah, I think it's pretty outside.
I'm here in the studio with none other than the full-time managing broker of the Greenbrier office, Rose and Womble, Kim Pimento, and we're very privileged to have in the studio today the sales manager of Johns Brothers Security, Tiffany Horton.
Thank you so much for having me.
Get close. Yeah, that's wonderful. Now, the purpose of this show is to share real estate news, advice, and experience to help you make sound decisions on one of the biggest investments you'll likely ever make, your home and any other property. If you have a farm, that's even better. But I'm Paul Fuquay, a full-time professional realtor with Rose and Womble Realty here in the Hampton Roads area. I think we have 13 or 14 offices. And I've been lucky enough in my career to help hundreds of sellers, buyers, renters, and investors in the real estate industry. My co-host, as I've already mentioned, is Kim Pimento, managing broker of the Greenbrier office. And our task at hand is to dispel as many of the myths and misstatements which seem to wend their way into any discussion of real estate at the back fence or during the kids' soccer games or basketball games or football games or homecoming events at which cognizant adults discuss real estate. I know I played golf the other day, and every other hole somebody was asking me what's going on with the market, what's going on with the rates, can you do anything about them? And I said, no, I can't do anything about it.
That's true. You can't do anything about it. We have to learn to deal with what we have.
And we spent most of the last week's show discussing the overall status of the real estate market here in Hampton Roads, because this hour is all about the fundamentals of real estate and what you can do to maximize your ownership in buying and selling and the power of home ownership and its benefits. And if you'd like to talk to us, me, or Paul Fuquay, or Kim Pimento, or Tiffany Horton from Johns Brothers during the course of the show, please feel free to call us. The number is 757-497-1310. Repeat that, 757-497-1310. Dino Franza, our producer, will answer the phone. He'll determine whether you're a valid questioner. We use him as the screener. You know, if you're calling from South Africa and are a prince offering us a deal on...
I don't think he's turned anybody down.
No, he hasn't. We've had all those princes, y'all. Well, we want to
Dino's easy.
Yeah, we want to make the show relaxed, and we want to be able to offer opinions and experiences which can help you in the process of dealing with real estate, either selling or buying a home, and what elements can protect your interests, and what is most important in striking a mutually acceptable agreement between both parties when you are involved in a real estate transaction. Now, market forces are changing, and the dynamics of the process are being impacted significantly by factors outside the control of real estate agents, homeowners, and sellers, and bankers, for that matter. And Kim's going to share some fairly significant information on the status of the housing market nationally. We're not going to belabor you with all manner of statistics on the nationals. We're going to give you what some people are saying. It's all yours, Kim.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. And some of this is more state level today. You know, and it hasn't changed a lot since last week. And we all know
Is it better or is it worse than last week?
So I think it's about the same. No significance, really.
Right.
You know, so let's start with our rates.
Okay.
So as of yesterday, now this is yesterday, October 26, 2022, non-conforming 6.5% with 1.5 points.
That's better than last week. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
That's an up.
Yeah, that's an up. That's a tick up. So a tick down, but it's good.
All right.
The conforming 30-year, 7% with 1.125 points.
That's better than last week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're either of those two, you're actually doing better.
Yeah, you're doing better. Okay, conforming investment, 25% down payment, 7.625% with 1.5 points.
That's no change.
Yeah, that's about the same. Then remember, you have to have pretty good credit score for these rates. This is 740 credit score at least.
And the ability to repay.
And the ability to repay, and the ability to have reserves if needed. FHA, 6.625% with 1.625 points.
That's about the same as last.
And VA, 6.625% with 1.875
Still about
points.
the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like they're just
What's a conventional conforming? Did I miss that? Was that the first one, the 6.5?
Conforming was 7% with
All right.
1.125 points.
All right.
So there we go.
Now,
That's
a conforming
the
loan, we've had mortgage brokers on here and bankers on here, and the conforming loan is one which is insured federally by either Ginnie Mae or Fannie Mae or one of those Mays. Who knows? It could be Mae West for all I know.
Right.
Do you know? We know, folks. We know how to buy and sell houses. That's
right.
what
The
we know.
conforming is the one that's backed in. Non-conforming is a jumbo.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Now, what else?
And then
Give me some. Is there any good news, or are we just treading water here? Because the confidence.
Well, the
consumer
unemployment rate's
confidence.
coming up, and Virginia is about to the same levels it was pre-COVID. Virginia is doing strong.
Right.
I think it is kind of funny that our job growth is leisure and hospitality and health and social assistance sector.
Those are the two largest.
Those are the two largest. The most job growth in Virginia continues to be in
Say
the
that
leisure
again.
and the most job growth in Virginia continues to be in the leisure and hospitality sector.
Okay.
And the health and social assistance
Are
sector.
they related by chance?
I don't think so. You know what I think
Come
it
to
is?
the
I
ocean
think-
front, we can nurse you on.
Yeah, I think it's just because people are tired of being at home. We have a lot to offer in this area as hospitality and,
Right.
and tourism. So I think people are just coming. They're tired of staying at home. We have a lot to offer. Health and social assistance sector, we have a lot. I would like to know if that is the higher paid health, like nurses and doctors and physical therapists, or if it's more of the social assistance sector where you go into the homes and actually help maybe the elderly or people who need
They
daily
lump all these
activities, daily
things.
living.
In the census information, so much of it is lumped together. You really don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it?
Yes, it is. When I was doing my college thesis, I had to deal with a lot of that material, and that's what convinced me I was never going to be any kind of a researcher or art author in that kind of sense. All right.
So that I think that's pretty good news.
So we got some good news there, folks.
Yes, we got some good news.
And we want the trending to keep going in the same direction in terms of rates, despite what the Fed want to do.
And despite the growth and in the leisure and hospitality sector, we're still about 11,600 jobs short. And
Is
in the
this
finance,
statewide or is this south?
this is statewide.
Okay.
And then and then also the sharpest decrease in these jobs month to month was in finance and insurance sector, which lost 3,600 jobs. Finance, I can see that with the interest rates. Some of these loan officers are probably having a hard time, and that's the thing that we, all of us real estate agents also kind of have concerns about.
Real estate agents are never really counted in the employment because real estate agents are self-employed in essence. They're not. They don't collect a paycheck. The only time they do is if they are on a builder's payroll, and then they don't have to be licensed agents. They can be functionaries and sit on the site and answer questions. Those are not real estate agents in many instances,
Right.
and they're not bound by the canons of ethics that we are as realtors.
Now, this is interesting, and I thought, good for Hampton Roads. We do live in an awesome area. I can't get over how awesome of an area we live in, and the variety of town centers and just the variety of what we have offered here. Within the state, Hampton Roads region had the most job growth with 3,900 jobs added between July and August. Winchester region had 1,800 jobs added, and Blacksburg Metro had 2,600 jobs added between July and August. Northern Virginia had 700 fewer jobs, and Roanoke had 800 fewer jobs in August compared to July.
Well, didn't Amazon open up a large facility? They're building a large facility in Suffolk, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, in Suffolk.
And that was a win. And I
Yes.
think the city of Chesapeake has just landed there's under construction a major new employer.
Right. But the problem with adding those jobs, it sounds great because we'll bring in all those jobs, but do they pay enough for the people to actually live here, buy homes here, and live a comfortable life?
Yes.
A lot of times the mass number of jobs aren't the, pay scales are a little lower.
Jobs result in jobs. In essence.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty true, Paul. Jobs,
no, I'm saying if you have, say, labor jobs, but labor jobs will require management jobs, and management jobs will require executive
But not as
jobs.
many management jobs.
No. But the idea is you build a company from the bottom up. So you've got to have the people that are producers. Managers are not producers. They oversee the process. Executives are not producers. They are the people who manipulate the assets so that they can afford to have the producers do what they have to do in order for the company to be successful. So every time you have a larger increase in your job base, in your labor base, your processing base, you're going to naturally influence the growth of jobs around that base, and you're also going to generate jobs in the service industry that has to come in and do the uniforms, has to maintain the building.
Yeah, but those kind of jobs, Paul, still it's hard to live on what they get paid.
Well, I guess I don't know. I've been very fortunate in my life to be able to have money in my jeans even when I wasn't working because I always found something to do.
Right. And I can see why the hospitality and leisure, they're down. The 11,600 jobs compared to pre-pandemic is because if you go into any restaurant,
they are looking for staff.
They're looking for staff. I mean, that's just a job that they haven't come back to.
All right. So these are good news.
Well, I think our economy here in this area is very good.
Yeah. Well, we're going to review what we discussed last week in that sense, in that there are strengths to this market that are not enjoyed by a large number of statistical metropolitan areas throughout the country. And ours is an advantageous position to be in if the economy generally is strong. It doesn't have to be booming, but it has to be generally strong enough so that we don't have to deal with any kind of massive cuts in governmental spending in this area for our military defense.
Right.
I mean, that's the key.
Well, here's some more, just little quick facts. So in September, because our September facts just came out for Virginia. So there were 10,172 homes sold in Virginia in September 2022. This is at 3,062 fewer sales than last September, which is a 23.1% decrease. The median sales price statewide in September was $365,000, rising 4.3% from a year ago, which is an increase of about $15,000. Mm-hmm. And now, you think is that a good thing or a bad thing? Are we pricing ourselves out of living?
I can't answer that.
I know that's the hard part about seeing a decrease, and but that's nice though. Our area is growing.
We know that because we have growth in our economy, at least in our labor force here. We know that we have stability in our labor force here, and we know that there's a constant demand because of the turnover of our population, because of the military movements, that there is a residual demand for housing. Unfortunately, when the rates grow, as they have very recently under the Fed actions, the window for the purchase closes in terms of the dollar amount that a person can spend per month. And that cuts down on a significant number of buyers at the lower end of the scale.
Yes, it does. Definitely. But the one thing I think about that says that if we're continually growing, this is statewide, 4.3%. That means that it's real estate's still a good investment, and that is actually 4.3% is pretty good rate. I mean, yes. we really want to see in a normal market about what, 3 to 4?
Well, it used to be years ago when I first got into this business, you could count on a rate of appreciation annually on your property, your home, of about 2.5% to 3%. And then it went crazy during the boom and bust of the early turn of the century. That's a remarkable phrase to use. And now we're seeing the inflation of values has been a result of demand, and not because there's funny money, not because people who aren't qualified to buy are buying, but because many people have decided not to sell. And when you don't have inventory, the demand is more focused on that which is available, and there's a price to be paid in order to get the house.
Right.
And that's where what we've seen in this area, and for that matter nationally, in terms of appreciation. As long as there's demand, and there will always be demand for housing, always, because we can't live in our cars for any long period of time. The gas tanks aren't big enough to keep it heating and running. Anyway, okay.
I have one more.
All right.
Okay,
Go.
there was about $4.5 billion of sold volume in Virginia in September.
$1 billion?
Billion.
$1
$4.5 billion sold volume in Virginia in September
1 month.
22, yes, which is about 1.1 billion less volume than a year ago, which was a 20.3% drop in volume, which that just shows, again, that the interest rates are causing people not to spend money.
Yeah, we're seeing people back away from the market, and in part, I think, because of lack of confidence in the economy.
Well, lack of confidence in the interest rates. Again, if I was looking at a $500,000 house a year and a half ago, and now I'm having to look at a $350,000, that $150,000 buys a chunk of nice real estate.
Yes, it does.
Adds a lot of stuff to that home.
Yes, it does.
That would be very hard to swallow.
Okay.
But if you have cash right now, I think it's a great time to buy. Or a big down payment.
Yeah, if you have enough, if you've made enough from the sale of your previous property, and you can walk in and put a big chunk of money down, you're in a good economic situation to buy the right house.
Right.
And I think that's what a great many people are doing, and that's why we see in the upper price ranges, we're not seeing as much of a fall off. Been very fortunate to see houses that come on the market in the upper figures, and I'm not talking about the 500,000 that used to be considered upper, and then it became affordable. But we're talking about north of 800,000 and above, and into the millions. Those folks, because of their income stream, can afford to buy whatever they need to buy. Now we're going to have to break shortly. Is that right, Jim? We have a minute, so I get to do my lead.
Okay, one thing.
All right.
Okay, days on the market. September last year was 23. September this year was 27. So we increased 4 days on the market, which still is not bad.
No, it's still far better. You're listening to the Real Estate PB&J Hour with Paul Fuqua and Kim Pimento, streaming live on MoneyTalk1310.com or 1310 AM at 100.9 FM. We're here in the studio also with Tiffany Horton from Johns Brothers. And if you have any questions, call us, 757-497-1310. Be right back with Tiffany and the discussion of the security systems available for your home.
Now back to the Real Estate PB&J Hour on Money Talk 1310 and 100.9 FM. Rosenwomble Realtor Paul Fuqua gives you the fundamentals of real estate selling, buying, owning, and improving your home.
Well, thank you. I hope you're rejoining us, and if you're just new to our listenership, you're listening to the Real Estate PB&J Hour, and you're at Money Talk 1310 AM on 100.9 FM. And if you have any questions for me or Kim Pimento or Tiffany Horton, our representative, the sales manager for Johns Brothers Security, please feel free to call the station at 757-497-1310. I'll repeat, 757-497-1310. And as always, you can subscribe and listen at no cost to yourself to past episodes of the PB&J Hour at your convenience on my YouTube channel, The Real Estate PB&J Hour. Now that I've finished all that stuff, I'm going to talk about very quickly the what's active on the market right now, what the stats are for this particular MLS market. As of this morning, there were 4,113 active residential listings, of which 3,360 are single-family, and 750 are attached, meaning that they're condos or townhouses or clusters or garden-style attached properties. That's as of this morning. But last week, our counts were 4,027 total, 3,272 single families, and 754 attached. The current number of 4,113 represents an increase in listings of 2% on a week-to-week basis. 2%, 2%, 2%. We're going to see this continue to climb, and it's not a result, in essence, of lots of new listings coming on the market. It's more a result of people not buying at this precise moment, and we'll discuss that a bit in a little later. Now, the numbers of properties actually available and not under contract, meaning they are in a contingency basis and they have not been fully become fully enforceable, is 3,195, and that's 85 more than last week. So that's a 2.7% increase available properties. The number of actual sales closed this past week, 456, and the total count as of today for October's closed sales is 1,472. Now realize the last week and the first couple days of the next month encompass the time frame when you see the greatest percentage of closings, because people like to close at the end of the month. In September, the total closings we pulled off according to MLS stats was 2,759, August 2,939, July 2,826, June 3,984, May 3,339, and April 3,706. Now, we want to stress these statistics are volatile in scope and must be considered in that light, but they do indicate the continued trending to an increase in available housing. But it's not, despite our best efforts, because of new listings. It's because the listings are coming on, but they are not closing. They're not selling and closing as rapidly.
Yeah, we're not seeing as many showings for sure.
That's absolutely correct. I put 2 on last Thursday, and I know they're priced very, very properly, but we just haven't had a lot of interest in them. And normally they were at the price point where they'd go boom, boom. We'd have 3 or 4 listings per day during the weekends. Now, if you'd like to know any more of these, you can call us at 497-1310, 757 area code, or you can always reach out to me at Paul Fuqua at paulfuquarealtor.com. Now, Kim, we're going to do a quick review of what we did last week, because I really want to get into the Johns Brothers Security.
Yeah, me too.
It's a great company, and I'm very familiar with it, and we are very fortunate to have Tiffany Horton here, who is the sales manager at Johns Brothers. But we touched on what made or makes our market strong in comparison to other areas. Military presence, right? Chime
Definitely, yeah, military presence for sure.
Shipping and distribution, seaport, tourism,
coastal attractions, ocean and the bay, and rivers.
And and how about the back bay? And then you've got the outer banks within minutes. It's a wonderful place. We have a strong labor market.
Yes.
We have a lot of ex-military who've been highly trained. They know how to work, and they know they have very specific marketable skills.
Yeah, but we also have our universities that bring in college professors that have,
and those are high-paying jobs.
Yes, they are. And because what ODU, Norfolk State, we've got Regent, we've got ECPI,
right?
We have medical school up in
Tiffany had one. What?
CNU. That's where I went. Yes.
Yeah, Hampton. And then medical school, that's a big one. I've met more people who go into the medical school lately. I don't know why, but that's great.
EVMS.
EVMS. Mm-hmm.
And realize that the positions in a university setting they cover the full spectrum of the labor market, from people who maintain the facilities to people who are at a managerial or executive basis. And professors are well paid today. It's not like the old days that, you wore a tweed jacket that was 30 years old because you couldn't afford a new one.
Right.
Now you can swap out the leather patches on your elbows.
Now they're all on Zoom.
Yeah.
Virtual background.
I had some great professors in college, and I'll never forget those people. They were wonderful. It's a retirement destination, isn't it?
Yes, for the military especially, I think.
And they're convenient commutes. One of the reasons I moved here was that when I sold my business in Washington, I maintained some consulting I want to call them gigs, consulting contracts, and I was within 3.5 to 4 hours, so I could go up there in the early morning, spend my day.
Really early morning.
Well,
if you get to D.C.
Yeah, but this was 20 some odd years ago, where I could go a little faster. The traffic wasn't quite as bad.
Right.
And I always choose. I'd like to go in on Tuesdays. And if you beat the rush hour here early, then you really have clear sailing until you hit D.C.
Right.
So I was better off leaving here at 5 and hitting D.C. somewhere around 8 when I knew, all right, I've got an 8.5 or 8:30. I've got a mess, but that'll clear out at 9:30. That's all changed. That's not anymore.
Well, we are very close to a lot of different attractions: the beach, the mountains, different states.
That stuff
cultures.
doesn't change, does it? It doesn't change. Tiffany, where are you from?
I'm from Windsor.
You're Windsor.
Isle of Wight.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you've seen a lot of things.
Yes, I have to worry about traffic every single day.
And you come into the Johns Brothers facility in Norfolk.
Headquarters in Norfolk, yes, sir.
All right. Now, we are joined by Tiffany Horton of Johns Brothers Security, and we've already related. Their headquarters are right here. And I want to thank you, Tiffany, for taking time to come in. And we've got some questions for you because our listeners have seen all the ads and all the commercials for national security companies, ADT for one, and I don't know who else, but they're out there for all their systems, and then all the do-it-yourself stuff at Home Depot and Lowe's and Walmart and Costco and Big Al's and who knows where else.
There's lots of options on the market these days.
Yeah, it seems though you can go into a drugstore and buy a security system.
And wireless, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, give us some background on Johns Brothers.
So Johns Brothers, the name has been around since the late 1800s. 1892, the oil side of our business started up. Mm-hmm. And we are just so lucky to have such a solid name in our community and so grateful to have that. We reached out I wasn't around then, but Johns Brothers reached out to the security community in 1974. Mm-hmm. And it's come a long way. So security is not just security anymore. It used to be, phone line hookup, running wires under houses, running wires to windows, doors, and all the things. And we've moved along to a full automated suite with cameras, all the bells and whistles now for security, wirelessly, easy installs. Johns Brothers has really embrace the industry. We've really tried to be on the cutting edge of the industry and try to be forefront in technology. So
yeah, it's funny in my generation and a great many people, if they aren't familiar with Johns Brothers and its security side, they automatically think of fuel oil and plumbing. And you haven't been selling fuel oil in how many years?
It's been quite some time. We have not. Yeah, so we are Johns Brothers is solely now security. And
you've bought new company. You've expanded significantly beyond this area.
We have. It's an exciting time. So in the last 5 years, a little bit before that, we started our Outer Banks office. Mm-hmm. And more recently, we have moved into the Richmond market. We have an office in Richmond. Mm-hmm. We have a small office in Lynchburg. And just more recently, a Hawk Security in Harrisonburg.
Okay. So now those companies that you've purchased, are they operating under Johns Brothers or
Hawk Security operates as Hawk Security, but it is an affiliate of Johns Brothers. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you do our properties.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I work with you guys.
I get reports every morning about who came in and out of the building.
Yes, we do access control for a lot of your properties. Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. And you always come out and you do an inspection for us, and you're always really nice and helpful, and we can call you and you come right out.
We try our best. So we do a lot of different things for commercial and residential. So commercial, your side of things, we do access control, meaning we control who can come in and out of the door of your facilities at any time of day.
Could you do that to my house?
We actually can do that as well. We can do automated door locks for your home.
Now, do you help with smart homes too?
We do. So we are partnered with Alarm.com, and Alarm.com has given us the ability to add security, automation as far as lighting, locks, even water controls. So we dabble in water controls. It's something where your plumber has to come out and put in a special piece, and then we can connect it to our system. Thermostat
Why would you
controls.
want to control your water?
So if there's
Leaks.
You don't.
leaks,
Oh,
exactly.
Leaks.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They put a sensor in the pan or at your hot water heater.
Well, I've
And-
seen those,
yeah,
but I
and-
didn't know a security company would do that.
We integrate it in. So we don't install. We install flood sensors so that you can make sure that your dishwasher, your hot water heater, they're not leaking, and that in turn can speak to the system too.
Oh, to turn it on and let you
turn it
know
on,
if you're like,
yes, ma'am.
on vacation or something.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, I see. So, but
Now-
you're not controlling like the water usage or.
No.
Coming
no.
on.
No.
oh, you do that in the shower.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Wow, water.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that.
Wait a minute.
You could really play
John's
some
Brothers
tricks
is
on somebody.
locally owned. Right.
Locally owned and operated.
Right. Now, how does a locally owned company compete with these behemoths, ADTs, and these other guys?
National companies.
Yeah.
Of the world.
How do you compete?
Paul has a great vocabulary. I love listening to him. Behemoths.
I just made that word up. I don't know what it
I don't know
means.
where it came from either. I'm not quite sure where to go with that.
I know it sounded kind of barbaric.
It's
didn't it? Behemoth.
a large animal.
Yes.
So the cool thing about John's Brothers is we try to keep that family feel that is instilled within our office. So, we could sell you a security system over the phone easily. We know it in and out. We can ask you how many doors you have, how many windows you have, what's your lifestyle like. But that's not how we do business. So we're going to come into your home. We're going to do a site visit. We're going to give you that friendly service and understand exactly what you need in life. It's not just, okay, here's our package, 3 doors, a motion detector, call it a day, send it to the customer and put it in. No, we're going to take care of you from the beginning to the end and service you on the back end if that's needed.
When your people, and I know you have very, very skilled sales force, what do they look to implement as a base system? What are the most important elements that if I want to protect my home, I have 3 back doors, my 2 back doors, a separate garage with 2 doors, front door, windows all over the place. What are the basics that I have to have in order to feel protected, or is it just I need a 12 gauge that goes?
Well, that might help too.
2 dogs.
But you
Yeah.
do want, at a base, you always want to make sure your doors are protected. But each home is a customized solution. So your lifestyle may be different than your lifestyle.
Right.
You're not going to, if you have dogs, we're not going to throw motion detectors in your house and hope they work and not go false alarm. So it just depends on your lifestyle. Doors, windows, motion detection, fire protection. Oh my gosh, fire protection is one of the main things I talk about in an appointment with a customer.
Yeah, I think that would be very important.
The fire protection is just the fire alarms, the smoke alarms. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
So-
but do you know how many people, when I used to do property management, we'd put those smoke alarms in there and you go over to do an inspection, they'd taken the batteries out of every
they
single
beep.
one of them. I know, but if they
Most
can reach up there
irritating
and
thing
take
in
them
the world.
off, they can reach up there and change the batteries. But I think that people do that. Even if it's your own home, I think people probably just get tired and, take the battery out.
So there's different types of smoke detectors. You have your smoke detectors that are builder required.
Right.
And those guys, those are there to tell you if you're in your home and there's a fire, please get out.
Right.
But ours, while they do the same, they'll tell you to get out if you're there. We tell you when there's a fire at your home and you're not present. It's protecting your asset, the
Right.
homes
Oh,
that you
that's-
guys are selling. It's quite different than
And does it
the regular.
automatically call the fire department
It
at a
does.
certain heat level, or?
No, as soon as the smoke detector goes off, that is when it's when we're calling the fire department. Automatically every time. We have heat detectors, and those go to like your garage and stuff, where there's going to be some dust. You don't want to put a smoke detector in a garage.
Is smoke detector optically driven? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay. They don't just sniff.
They don't just
The dogs
I
do.
thought probably heat.
heat detection. So that measures rate of rise when there's an extreme spike in temperature in your kitchen or in your garage is where we're going to put those. Because if you're like me, you're going to burn stuff. There's no need for a smoke detector in a kitchen. We're going to put a heat
Especially
detector.
mine.
No, anything. I can burn toast.
So tell everybody where are smoke detectors kind of required, or where do you put them?
So you're going to always have your builder required smoke detectors in the areas you sleep in your home. So with ours monitor just, we can do more general with our smoke detectors. In main hallways, each floor of your home should at least have 1 to 2 depending on layout of the home. Anywhere where smoke's going to rise. You want it at tops of stairways, that's where you're going to want smoke detection.
In every bedroom, probably?
That's required by law.
By law, you don't have to have ours in every room.
Right.
By law. You have to have a smoke detector that's going to notify you there's a fire in the house.
Right.
In every sleeping room.
All right. We're going to have to take a break here for the advertisers to
advertise.
Yeah. I was looking for the right word.
Tell them about their
you've
stuff.
challenged me. All right. You're listening to the Real Estate PB&J Hour with Paul Fuqua, Kim Pimento, and Tiffany Horton from Johns Brothers Security. This is 1310 AM. 100.9 FM, and this is the Real Estate PB&J Hour. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussion of security systems, what's good, what's bad, and what is available. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Now back to the Real Estate PB&J Hour on Money Talk 1310 and 100.9 FM. Rosenwomble Realtor Paul Fuqua gives you the fundamentals of real estate selling, buying, owning, and improving your home.
Well, thank you for coming back. And if it's your first time listening to us, this is the Real Estate PB&J Hour. You've just heard Dino's introduction. You can call the station to talk to me or Kim Pimento, my co-host, or Tiffany Horton, the representative, the sales manager of Johns Brothers Security, who's visiting with us today. Our number is 757-497-1310. 757-497-1310. And as always, you can subscribe to and listen to past episodes of the PB&J Hour. We've got 40 of them up there on our YouTube channel, the Real Estate PB&J Hour. Doesn't cost you anything, and we'd love to have you subscribe because that gives us more exposure so that this thing can get out to more people. Now, when we left, we were talking about, with Tiffany, the elements of a security system today. One of the key elements was the smoke and fire protection. What else? We all don't want to burn up in our sleep.
Absolutely
But
not.
what about cameras? I mean, my wife went out and bought this thing called a Ring, and it was wonderful, except it kept beeping our phones. And then we couldn't get it so that it wasn't affected by every car that drove down the street. We got all these recordings of vehicles. And at the same time, it would go off in the house, and that would set the dogs off. So we decided the dogs are better for us than Ring. So
Yes.
she won't recharge the camera.
I have a better solution for you.
Okay, fire away.
So, obviously, video is one of the number one things that people are asking for in our industry right now, and your doorbell camera is the number one video device that we see in the market today.
Right.
The cool thing about our Alarm.com doorbell is there's analytics. There's analytics built into it. So with your Ring doorbell, you can only adjust motion sensitivity.
Right.
With the Alarm.com doorbell, you can adjust motion sensitivity, but you can also hone in and only get notifications when a human entity crosses a certain plane in front of the camera.
Right.
So if you have your porch, you can actually draw a tripwire on that porch, and if someone crosses that tripwire, it'll notify you at that. So you're getting rid of the blowing in the wind leaf. You're getting rid of the tree branch in the wind.
How much, all right, casually,
Like the white noise.
and I'm not going to hold you to this, but how much does that cost?
So usually when we have new customers come in, they go with our premium package, and the premium package includes the doorbell, includes an automated door lock, it includes 4-door sensors and a motion detector at $497 or $479, excuse me.
A month?
No.
what I was thinking.
$479
I'm in the wrong
installed.
business.
$479 installed
okay.
and $54.95 a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I actually, as you know, came from Windsor. That's where I was born and raised, and I thought that security systems were only for fancy people, and that they were only.
They're not?
No, they are
That's
not.
why I've never subscribed to
It's
one.
very affordable.
It is very affordable.
It's very affordable. When I joined the team, I just could not believe how affordable
Well,
it was.
when you're spending, let's round it, you're spending $500 for the installation, and that's without any of the add-ons. And I assume if you got to get a sensor for this or there's a few more dollars. And you're spending about, $50 a month, $600 a year?
Yes, sir.
Approximately $600 to $700 a year. Well, when you're doing that, is there any benefit for your insurance? Do you get a break?
Yes.
Home insurance?
If you have fire protection and security, you can get up to a 5% discount with your homeowner's insurance. It depends on who you go through. I always tell my customers to reach out and try.
Does that basic package have fire?
It does not. So we always add a smoke detector to our basic package, and the smoke detector is $99 more.
Right.
And then you have everything you need to get your 5% up to 5% off.
Oh, so it's just $99 on the installation side,
Exactly.
and then it's same the month.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's a pretty good deal. So intruders, where do they come in most?
Doors. So about 90% of the time, you're going to have a break-in through your door. That is why the number one thing I'm doing when I walk into a home is I am making sure your door is protected. Your perimeter doors are protected.
Do they kick them down? Do they pick the locks, or what's the common thing?
I believe it's a little bit of everything. I have never been in the mind of a criminal.
Well, maybe you should.
Yeah, dun, dun, dun.
They use their credit card?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so you see a little bit of everything. Everything today. I would say keep your doors locked. You know, you have people just going around and trying to open doors, and that happens more often than not.
It amazes me how many people don't lock their doors.
Well, yeah. Wait a minute. I grew up in Washington, D.C., and we never locked the front door.
Okay, Paul. We'll go back to that was then.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
That was then. This is now.
No. It still was an urban setting. There was still traffic. There were still people on the street, and we didn't lock the door. Now, in part because there were 6 kids and a grandmother living in the house, so somebody was always home. But the idea of an alarm system was far.
See, I would much rather someone come in when I'm not home. I don't think I want to wake up.
But you'd want to know about it, right? So
Yeah,
then you need an alarm system to let you know.
That brings us to a question. False alarms.
Yes.
You do start having false alarms called in, and don't you get fined by the cities? Yes.
Down the road you can. So with every installation, we remind our customers to register with their jurisdiction. So different municipalities have different rules.
Right.
Usually within any different jurisdiction, you would get 2 to 3 free false alarm. False alarms. We have implemented a few measures to cut down on false alarms so that our customers are not having to deal with that.
Right.
One really cool thing that our central station does, if there's an alarm, you have a call list. And that call list has obviously your users on it, the phone numbers. When the alarm goes off, a group text message is going to go out to everybody on the call list that has a cell phone. And they can talk about if it's a false alarm or not. So if Susie's at home and she accidentally set it off, she can say, "Oh, Mom, I set it off." We can stop dispatch right within that text message.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's really cool.
Yeah, because it is, as I know, as a real estate agent, I've set off alarms.
I know, and unfortunately,
it's
it's going to happen. User error. We're only human. It happens.
Well, there's so much technology in place. These systems seem to be very, very intricate.
Yes.
And interlinked. Are they therefore that much more expensive to install and maintain? I mean, what does Johns Brothers do to a person who's been a good, long-standing subscriber for 4 or 5 years? Do you offer upgrades at a reduced rate, or what do you do to help them maintain a system at its current technology?
We do. We're very lucky to have so many long-standing customers. I'm talking 30 years or more, and we call those our legacy customers. And we do offer a legacy upgrade. Back in the day, phone lines were required for a security system. Now it's cellular, so because everybody's getting rid of their phone line, are they not? So we have a cellular option that allows our customers to upgrade.
Do you still have a landline?
I do.
Oh, good for you.
I mean, do you want to admit that?
She just did.
I just did.
But the question is,
I'm
for instance, my email is
transparent.
psfuquay@aol.com.
Yes.
Immediately, people look at me as though I've just dropped in from the heavens. But I go back to when it was dial-up. I go back when you had to pay. That movie, You Got Mail. Remember that?
Yes.
That was my lifestyle. Ding, ding, But today,
things have come a long way.
Yeah, it's amazing. I can't keep up with it.
I have one question I want to ask right quick. When you get one of those door locks that you punch the code in,
yes,
do you have to change the hardware, or can that go on any door?
So a deadbolt door lock is what we have in our package. we would replace your existing deadbolt with the automated deadbolt so that it replaces your existing deadbolt.
Deadbolt.
Yeah.
So you have to have a separate deadbolt. Can't be the handle.
Indeed, yes, sir.
Okay.
That is correct.
Now, what if somebody has an elderly member of the family living with them? I know that one time there was a medical pendant, and I can't get up. I've fallen. And I get so sick and tired of that.
I know. I bet I do too.
But what do you do to help those people get up?
Those types of things within our industry are so necessary. So. With elderly people, maybe they live with you, maybe they do not, and they live on their own, and you're trying to hold off, if we don't want to put our mother in a home. We have medical pendants that we have a couple of different types. So some that connect with your security system, some that will allow you to go off-site and still have a medical alert on you. We've also implemented measures such as you can actually use a normal security system as a measure to track your family member.
Can you track car keys? Oh.
You cannot track car keys. And by track, I mean, my grandma has a system in her home. And what we do, if we're worried, hey, I wonder if Nana's doing okay today. Mm-hmm. You can actually look and see that she walked across a motion detector. She opened her door to go get the mail.
That's scary. I don't know if I want to have that.
But it's important for those people.
I bet a lot of married couples don't want that either.
Well, now we have a Wise. That's again, my Amazon has beaten a path through the grass to our front door. But the Wise, my wife put in so she could watch the dogs. I'm not going to say stupid. I love these animals.
No, we love our animals.
Yeah, but now, do you have something that would be akin to that?
We do. So we have an interior camera that has two-way talk, and that is something we do implement in the elderly homes. You can talk to your mom, or you can talk to your pet.
Through the camera?
Roscoe, get off the couch. Yes, and Roscoe can talk back if Roscoe has a voice or a bark.
Yeah, we have sellers that like to talk to their clients as they walk. I mean, their buyers as they walk through the house too.
Ooh, check out the nice sink over there.
Yeah,
No.
I draw the line.
There are legal ramifications that we're not going to go into because of the security system. But, I've always advised my sellers, if you have video, do not turn it on. I'm going to tell people it's there. And
as long as you disclose it.
And the same thing. The worst is audio. Recording people's comments. It's just so nasty a practice.
If I could, can I tell you a little bit about what we do different than Wise, the DIY?
We have 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm not going to take 5 minutes. So all Alarm.com video streams, as well as any video device commands, are sent over a VPN connection using bank-grade AES 256 encryption.
Do you have any idea what she just said?
No.
It's very, very highly sophisticated talk to tell you that our cameras are safe. You see all this stuff about hacking. We have extreme measures put in place through Alarm.com to not go down that road.
Right.
That is really good information. Do you sell cameras for computers that would not be able to be hacked?
We do not sell computer cameras. Do you mean like the webcam type?
Right. Did you hear that people are hacking in and...
Really?
Yeah, I know. I've heard about it. I hear about it all the time.
We have Alexa, and Alexa, turn off the lights, and the lights go off. It's wonderful, Alexa, turn on the lights go. But I have the distinct impression that thing is listening to me. So I go into the other room if I'm going to say anything. All my profanity is now confined to the bathroom. I can't do it out there.
Oh, my goodness. Why did you just unplug it?
Well, it's too easy. Say, Alexa, turn on the lights. And boom, the lights come on.
Well, no, but
it's wonderful.
If you're having a private conversation, you just unplug your Alexa.
I just tell myself, Tiffany, the things you're saying are not that important. No one is listening. No one cares.
No, but they're weirdos out there. I'm telling you, they're weird. You deal with the public enough, you understand that they're strange people with strange things on their minds. I'm kind of like that in some regards. Now, so we've answered my next question. Is two-way communication possible through your system? It is. Then.
In the camera aspect, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how long does it normally take? Let's say I've got a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath house, 2 stories. I want your full-blown system. How long is your tech? Or are your techs going to be there? Do they need ladders and stuff like that?
Yes, they need everything. So they're going to do the full install, and more than likely we get it done in a day, depending on how big the system is. But most residential installs are happening in a day.
Okay. Again, we what, 4 minutes, 3 minutes? We're down to 3 minutes, Dino. Okay. Well, I don't know if there's anything you want to chime in with. Is there
Just
anything
one
you'd like to
question.
say?
You said most of it's wire now. What most
Wireless.
Of it's, so it's not invasive to the walls or anything.
No, and we're
like
not
that?
unless you don't. You know, the security system itself uses cellular technology to communicate to the central station.
Right. So
we only
can
require.
you take it with you?
You could not. No, it
Oh.
has to stay in your home. Yes, ma'am.
But
So you
if you
can't
move,
move.
you
Oh, if you move, yes,
Right,
we
if you
can.
move.
We have systems now that are very easily movable because they are wireless.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I know I speak for Kim and John's Brothers' own sales manager, Tiffany Horton. Want to thank all you folks out there in radio land for joining us during another episode of the Real Estate PB&J Hour. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast. I thank you, Tiffany,
Thank
for
you
coming.
for having
This was nice.
Yeah, it's a pleasurable
Good job.
experience. You know, it might do it again next week. In fact, we are going to do it next week. We hope you out there enjoyed this broadcast and learning a little more about what's going on in the residential real estate market. Investment opportunities abound, and what your rights and responsibilities are as a buyer or seller. And if you have questions or are interested in discussing a topic we have not covered or would like to talk about buying or selling a home, give me a call if you'd like at 757-449-7463. That's Paul Fuqua, 757-449-763. Tiffany, how do people get a hold of you?
You can call our office at 757-852-3300. Again, that's the Johns Brothers Security Office here in Norfolk. 757-852-3300.
And what's your website?
www.johnsbrotherssecurity.com. S on Johns, S on Brothers.
I want to thank all you people out there. And Kim, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much.
You're a wonderful co-host. And thank you folks for listening to the show. And in compensation for enduring that, we offer you a free digital copy of my 31 tips to help sell your home. God. Oh boy, it highlights strategies I've used to sell them. Anyway, till next week at this same time, 13:10 a.m., 5 o'clock Thursday afternoons, we're here. Hopefully the weather will be as pleasant as it was today. Thank you all for listening,
Have
and
a
thank
good
you too
week.
for being there.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.